Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am doing another video for teens. Here's the thing. I get it's progressed over time, but more and more and more of my videos are coming from, of the questions on our YouTube are coming from teenagers. So I think that teenagers with HA mostly follow my YouTube. And then the 20-year-old and above are on the podcast. And then we work with women one-on-one who are usually 21 and above, averaging 33 years old. And that makes sense, right? They might have baby making goals. They have the income to be able to hire and work with professionals. Teenagers don't really have those things. And a lot of them it appears, are doing this on their own without a lot of support from their parents and their family, and so they're messaging me. And for a long time, I've been like, oh, that sucks. I'll try to answer their questions, but I wish that they could, work one-on-one with me. And we will get teens, absolutely, who's, I guess teens who are comfortable cluing their parents in on this, and then their parents understand and care just as much as they do, and then they hire us. But more often than not, and I'm curious to you teenagers listening, why? Are you doing this on your own? Do your parents know about it? If they do know about it, how much do they understand? That kind of thing. I'm curious, so let me know below what your support system looks like. But obviously a bunch of teenagers aren't hiring our expert help because y'all are in school, you're not making a bunch of money. So I was inspired based on the sheer amount of questions I've been getting to create a course, a short mini course that is designed for teenagers and their parents or guardians and support system to go through together, because I assume, so you'll tell me what you think, but the vibe I'm getting is that it's hard for teens to explain this issue to their parents and get them to truly understand. A lot of parents are like, you're okay. Or I think we should go to the doctor and just get you on the pill. And kids are more and more clued in these days, and they don't want to get on the pill, but their parents are just not doing the research all the time with them. Or it's not that they're not doing the research, but they don't know what to look up, right? This is tough, and they don't know how to support their kids. So I made this course on thehasociety.com/teens, and it is for you to, as a teenager, to send to your parent, or for you as a parent to watch and get more information about what is HA, why does it matter for your teenager, what are the root causes, what are the recovery basics. So it's coming out soon. This video comes out on Sunday, the 1st of June. So it's not ready yet, but you can go over there and check it out and prepare for it to be released by the end of next week. So I'm going to do Q&As today about Q&As from teens, and tomorrow in honor of this mini course for teens with HA. And I want you guys to send the link to your parents. I made a video talking to them, and I want you to send it to parents, and I will help you to explain what is going on and get their buy-in, and also help you to get more information at a way more accessible price than what we do with our one-on-one clients. So let's dive in. I have a question from Zala. She says, hi. I'm 16, I missed 5 periods, and I got 2 recovery periods in December and January. My first cycle was 49 days long, but both my periods were normal, 6 days, not light. Now I'm on day 50, and I still haven't gotten my 3rd period. Should I increase my food intake even more? Do you think all of my progress is gone and I'm back at my starting point? So, it's not that your progress is gone, but it's that something has changed. So whatever you were doing to get your menstrual cycle back in December and January has changed. We actually see a lot of people get a couple periods, December, January, because it's the holiday season. So for whatever reason, maybe they were eating more holiday food, they weren't as stressed with school, they went on vacation, so they weren't doing as much exercise and they were eating more food, and they tend to get periods that month. Then they get back into the groove of things and it goes away. And also, it's common when you have had your first couple periods not to be able to fully justify continuing to eat consistently and rest because you feel like you don't have HA anymore. So Zala, the most likely thing, those flies drove me nuts. The most likely thing is that you changed something and you may or may not fully consciously realize it, but yes, you might need to increase your food again, not because you need to eat more, but because you're not actually eating as much as you were when you got those cycles back, or you have increased your exercise too much without increasing your food reasonably. So that might be the situation. What else have I got? Okay, Galetta. She says, "Hi Danny, I'm 16. I've been diagnosed with and HA. When I started restricting and doing too much exercise, I was 15, leading me to lose 18 kilos in 4 months and losing my period in the very first month. Also keep in mind I started restricting when I was 60 kilos and ended up at 42 kilos. Now I am 168 centimeters in height. I've had treatment, mental and physical, and I don't restrict anymore, nor do I do any exercise. I'm currently 53 kilos at 168 centimeters. My doctors have told me that my period would come back at exactly 51.5 kilos. But it hasn't. My stress is around my period loss, and every day I'm getting more stressed about it because I worry that I might need to get over 60 kilos to get it back. I also have a holistic nutritionist that makes sure I eat enough and that I also get plenty of macros and fats. The doctors are concerned about why my period is still missing, and they told me to get to 54 kilos. Maybe that's my set point. I'm worried about my missing period because I want to get taller and have my hormones balanced, but I'm starting to lose hopes. I've been gaining weight since October, and the past 3 months I've been staying at 53 because I'm scared if I gain more, I will still not get my period back, and I might still not like the way I look." Okay, so this is an eating disorder in a nutshell, right? I know what I need to do and I'm not willing to do it. Galetta, I don't actually work with EDs, so I don't have a lot of advice for you other than the level for what is considered ED recovered is very low. The bar is set very low. You obviously are still dealing with a lot of these challenges because your logical brain wants to recover and knows it's a priority, but your anxiety and fear is saying it's not worth it if you're not thin. And that is inherently your problem. So what you are asking me without realizing it is you're telling me, Danny, I want a way to recover without having to gain weight. And I'm not going to answer that question for you because that's not an appropriate question and it's not an appropriate way for you to tackle this issue. But I think you need to get your whole support system on board. I think you need to hear straight up that you're going to have to continue to gain weight until your period comes back. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're going to stay stuck in this cycle. So make sure you're getting the support that you need because there's no other option but to keep going and letting your body be healthy in spite of a thin ideal. Okay. Hannah says, "Hello, I was wondering if you could give me some guidance. I'm confused. I'm 17 and I began exercising a lot more and losing weight very quickly. I lost my period. I got extremely thin and my doctor, and my heart rate dropped very low, but I was put on bed rest for a few months and gained a lot of weight. I wasn't weight restored at the stage, but my body was much healthier, was a much healthier heart rate, blood pressure, etc. No signs No period or signs of fertility though. I went back training in February 2024 and overtrained at the end of August, start of September. Stopped running, did strength training, yoga, gained weight. I got most of the clinical signs of recovery from HA when I lowered intensity. I stopped all forms of physical activity, only doing 30-minute light walk daily. I maintained eating more and gained weight consistently. I am now fully weight restored, according to my medical team, and my symptoms of recovery are all there except a period, despite making drastic changes and staying consistent with them. I want to gradually increase my training and from nothing and fuel appropriately. I don't know what to do. Things aren't moving and I'm stressed. What would you recommend? My dietitian is suggesting I gain a lot more weight very quickly, and my ED team are suggesting maintained weight and increasing back to physical activity slowly and in a controlled way. I feel physically and mentally able to do so. I just don't want to not get a period back. Yeah, I think that your dietitian is right, and you probably need to gain more weight to get your cycle back before you start including activity. Unfortunately, a lot of ED programs are just not taking any of this into account at all. They are very uneducated in this issue, and it sounds like your nutritionist knows that you need food, calories, body fat in order for all of your bodily functions to be operating appropriately. Okay. Another one. Me Asu. Hi Danny, I'm 16 years old, 170 centimeters tall, and I weigh 55 kilos. I always loved doing all kinds of sport and eating healthy, so I was always pretty lean. At the age of 14, I got my first period, and I've had it very regularly. My cycle always lasted for about 20 days, so it was not that long and very intense. Not very intense. I never tracked calories or anything, but since November last year, I started going to the gym and doing strength training and cardio training. Cardio in the end was very excessive and only for the calories. Also, due to the fitness bubble on social media, I got into calorie tracking, and without the actual wish of losing weight, I wanted to be and was in a calorie deficit. I don't know if I lost weight, but it certainly was a stress factor. The thing is, I constantly knew that I didn't really want this relationship with food and fitness. I always tried to stop, but somehow I couldn't. I didn't think I want to lose control. Then I got pneumonia in February, so I took a break from tracking and exercise. I was very happy that I stopped those things, and I decided to continue like this when I was healthy. I recovered and exercised normal again, but against my will, I started to track. Then I noticed my period was missing. I thought it was stress, but I started to look on the internet. I found your account, and I immediately started to eat more. 2,200 calories, and exercise less once a week, no cardio. That was in the beginning of March. I feel better with my digestion and energy, but I still can't stop tracking, which is annoying me very much. And I have an appointment with the gynecologist this week, and I hope to check on my hormone levels. I don't know how to continue. Can I exercise again? Am I eating enough? And do you have tips to really stop tracking? I'm not really restricting, but this isn't intuitive eating, and I'd like to be doing that. Okay. So you may be struggling to get your cycle back because you are having a lot of mental rules around caloric restriction. If you're counting calories, you probably have a ceiling. Some people say to me, I'm just tracking calories to make sure I'm eating enough. But what they don't realize is they're also trying to do it to make sure they eat enough, but not too much. They don't want to go above the ceiling. And that is still restriction, even though you're eating more than you used to. It's still restriction. So that's my tip for everyone is like, if you're tracking your food and confused why your body is still acting as if you have a bunch of restrictions, in place, that's because you do. And so you need to stop tracking the food. Now, how to stop is a little different. You need a support system. You need someone to talk to you about it. Every time you feel the desire to do so, it's good to stop, chat with someone, parent, a friend, let them know you feel like doing it, have them reassure you don't need to, and of course, interrupt the behavior. So if you're eating and you start finding yourself tracking calories, you need to go and distract yourself, stop the behavior, do something different. It's hard to do on your own, so do your best to get support, but the sooner you can just cold turkey quit. If you're using a tracking app, obviously delete it. And I know a lot of people mentally track calories, so you're really going to have to interrupt the thought every time you catch yourself doing it. When you start adding up, doing the math in your head, you identify you're doing it, you have to change a subject. Change a subject. That's how you change a neurological pattern, is by interrupting it consistently. So I hope that helps. Y'all, I get so many questions from teenagers. We could do this all day. So we're gonna do it again next week. Go check out the course. It's ready for pre-order. It's half done, so you can order it and you can get started. And then I will be adding modules as I go, and it should be done by the end of the next 2 weeks. But I want to get it out there in the world to you guys ASAP and just get the support. You know, it's really important for everyone, every woman, to have support through this process. And I can't stress it enough. We get to support women who are who are older, who are making money, who are able to afford it. And that's tougher for a lot of teenagers. So I hope that you'll jump on this opportunity. I hope you'll share it with your parents if it's something that you feel like you need their support with, but you can't get them to necessarily understand your side, or you just haven't been feeling like confident enough to explain it. I'm here to help. So shoot that over to them, thehasociety.com/teens. And I'll see you guys next week for more Q&A from teenagers.